Southeast Michigan. That's just a reality.
Tonight at 11, residents, officials, and experts gather for a public forum on hazardous waste, why Michigan is one of the largest importers in the country.
On air and streaming live, CBS News Detroit at 11 starts now.
Thanks for joining us for CBS News Detroit at 11. I'm Jeff Skversky. Shanna Humphreys has the night off. The big story tonight, the big change to the weather. Sunny and warmer temperatures. It finally feels like spring. And yes, it's here to stay. We begin tonight with meteorologist Ahmed Badji with the very latest. Finally, some nice weather.
Oh, it looks fantastic. We've got that chance to warm on up. We have that stray shower too far to our north, mainly for tonight. We'll show you that here in a moment, but temps still in the 50s at this hour, where before they definitely were not. We are seeing some cooler air here going into the start of the day tomorrow, heading down into the 40s, but highs in the mid 60s for Cinco de Mayo. We've got the upper 60s on Saturday. Cloud cover still a bit broken. Low 70s on Sunday. And then we stay at the low 70s mark next week. Showers come in Sunday around the evening hours. They continue with a couple of storms even on Monday, and then showers going all the way through Tuesday as well. For tomorrow, by the way, for Cinco de Mayo, we should stay on the dry side with partly to, at times, mostly cloudy skies, but mild. Kind of like today. We have that very similar setup, but add a few degrees to it. We'll reach those highs actually a little earlier. Around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll make it to about 65, to a few of us, 66. And if we push there, we'll stay at about 65 through that 6 o'clock hour. That is not bad at all. Now, we're going to talk more about this mild air because we might have a chance to go a little further as we get back toward the end of the extended. We'll talk about next weekend as well, coming up.
All right, Ahmed, 70 degrees, a sight for sore eyes. New tonight at 11, Michigan state officials and residents have been furious over the toxic waste brought into the state following February's train derailment in Ohio. Tonight, residents fired off questions at a public forum on the issue. Our Kelly Vaughn has more from the meeting at Wayne County Community College District in Belleville.
What really spurred tonight's discussion was that toxic train derailment in Ohio and then that toxic waste being delivered here to Michigan. Tonight, we heard from the train and the waste company. We heard from Eagle and the EPA. But perhaps most importantly, we heard from local residents and what their concerns are.
Do we have to worry about being safe living here?
Around 150 people showed up to voice their concerns. One being, why is Michigan one of the largest importers of waste in the U.S.? The answer is Michigan's tipping rate.
Tipping rate is how much you pay per ton of waste. And we're cheap. It's 39 cents a ton. The average tipping rate in the Midwest exceeds $5. In Wisconsin is $13.
Representative Debbie Dingell organized the public forum. She says they're currently working in the state legislature to change Michigan's tipping rate. Dingell was joined by other elected officials, including Representative Rashida Tlaib. She says 7 of Michigan's 8 hazardous waste facilities that accept off-site waste are located in working-class neighborhoods.
You know, we're not going to stand by while our communities are turned into dumping grounds. We don't deserve that.
Many of the public's concerns were about waste transport regulations and safety.
We see the length of trains increasing and the number sometimes, and for some companies, of employees decreasing. So that's something that's worth looking at.
The EPA regional administrator says she believes there are sufficient regulations, but says there is room for a national discussion about rail safety.
It's receiving waste from many other states, 40 truckloads a day, and there just really has never been a notification system. The waste is coming to these sites all the time.
Other concerns were about receiving notifications of toxic waste shipments into the deep injection well site in Romulus. The lawmakers in attendance say Michigan should expect to see some changes as the new legislature has a big focus on the environment. Specifically, they changed those laws surrounding Michigan's tipping rate as well as changing Michigan's import of waste from Canada. Now, while many of tonight's questions were answered, a lot of the residents here are dealing with trust issues, which take more than one meeting to address. Reporting from Belleville, Kelly Vaughn, CBS News Detroit.
All right, thank you, Kelly. The Detroit Pistons fired assistant general manager and Detroit native Rob Murphy after an investigation into workplace misconduct. The Pistons tell us in a statement Rob Murphy no longer works for the Detroit Pistons or Motor City Cruise in any capacity. Mr. Murphy was recently terminated for violation of company policy in the terms of his employment agreement. The facts that gave rise to his termination surfaced during a review assisted by a national law firm of allegations made by a former employee. Mr. Murphy was placed on leave immediately after the allegations were received and did not return to the workplace prior to his termination. Because this is a personal matter, no further details will be forthcoming at this time. Now, the accuser, Murphy's former executive assistant, claims he tried to force her to have sex with him. She has filed a lawsuit against Murphy and the Pistons for abuse and harassment, according to the Detroit Free Press. Police continued their search today for a missing Lenawee County woman, Dee Warner. She disappeared more than 2 years ago, last seen near her home in Franklin County, near Tecumseh. This is the second time this week officers searched the area. We recently spoke to her nephew, who says the family wants closure.
We'd love to find, and this will probably sound weird, we would love to find the body. I think that's us as a human race, wanting the closure, seeing a body put into the ground at a grave site. I think that's just natural.
We reached out to Michigan State Police for an update. They are not releasing any information or if an arrest is pending. An investigation is underway at the Detroit Golf Club. Police say it was vandalized sometime between Wednesday, April 26th and the following morning. Detroit police tell us the damage occurred on 2 holes and it appears to stem from a chemical burn. The Detroit Golf Club has no comment. A kindergarten student died after coming down with flu-like symptoms, and now other students at Marcus Garvey Academy in Detroit are getting sick as well, prompting the school to close for the rest of the week. Our Andres Gutierrez is on Detroit's east side as a family grieves and parents worry if their children are safe to return.
The Detroit Health Department is closely monitoring the situation. They have sent over a team to review the school's disinfecting protocols. But even with a deep cleaning, some parents aren't so sure about sending their kids back to the classroom on Monday.
And that's good. They clean out the school, but we just trying to see who all got it.
Theodore Burton has more questions than answers on how so many kids got sick at Marcus Garvey Academy, where his 2 daughters go to school.
We try to see was it the flu, COVID, allergies, the season, just so much going on. We just really worried, just trying to see really what's going on.
Last week, a kindergartner passed away. At Wednesday's school board meeting, they held a moment of silence for the young boy.
We will be lifting up young Mr. Jamani Williams, who was a kindergartner at Marcus Garvey School, who passed away suddenly.
The medical examiner hasn't released a cause of death, but officials have said he did experience flu-like symptoms at first. Then this week, school administrators saw several other students suffer from high fevers and vomiting. This prompted them to shut down the school so they can disinfect the building.
It typically spreads by respiratory droplets. So someone coughs and they could cough into their hand. They touch that, cough onto a surface, and those droplets, if they come in contact with someone else, can help to spread that flu virus.
The health department is urging parents of children ages 4 to 7 to see a doctor if their child has any symptoms, including fever, headache, nausea, vomiting, or abdominal pain. As Theodore keeps an eye on his daughters for any symptoms, he hopes the school district and health department will give parents an update on the situation before Monday.
We just want everybody just be okay, be safe. That's the main thing, is safe.
Reporting on Detroit's east side, Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Detroit.
Local, state, and federal officials are spending $400,000 on a study to examine a muck-like substance that's been popping up along the Lake St. Clair Shores coast for years. Lingbaya algae has been building up in the area, and it's been so bad it's driving down property values, even swallowing boat decks. One resident believes he knows where this is coming from.
Is the majority of all this stuff that's happening near or at the exit point of where any sewage runoff enters into the lake. And right now in Harrison Township, we are at the epicenter because the sewage overflow that dumps into Lake St. Clair is a majority dumped in right over there by the spillway in Harrison Township.
Well, regardless of where it's coming from, many residents are happy it's being investigated. Michigan State Superintendent paid a visit to an elementary school in Detroit today. Dr. Michael Rice traveled to Man Learning Community on Elmira Street, where he met with students and staff and learned about its STEAM and STEM programs. Dr. Rice also made a big announcement. Third grade teacher Candace Jackson has been named the 2023-24 Michigan Teacher of the Year. Jackson is the first from the Detroit Public Schools Community District to receive the state's highest teaching honor in 17 years.
It feels amazing. I feel humbled. I feel honored, and I feel ready to take on the challenge of being Teacher of the Year for the state of Michigan. Working with the students, that really is the highlight of my day. There's nothing more special than impacting the children. So when I come in every day, I just come to make every day count and get them where they need to be at the end of the day.
What an honor. Jackson was among more than 150 teachers nominated. Just last month, she was also named one of the state's 10 regional teachers of the year. Coming up on CBS News Detroit at 11, nearly 100,000 baseball, football, and basketball cards have been donated to an Oakland County senior center. The remarkable story to help the struggling facility next.
More news and next weather now. CBS News Detroit is streaming whenever you need us. Download Pluto TV, free on your connected TV or smartphone. Scroll to local news, choose CBS News Detroit, and don't forget to add us to your favorites.
Of course, the GMC Terrain offers different drive modes. What about Weekend Warrior mode? Or you don't see that every day mode? How about Out of the Office mode? Or even,
are you out of your mind?
Mode. Want a mode for everything? GMC Terrain. GM employee program participants with a current eligible GMC lease can get this low mileage lease on this Terrain SLE for $239 per month.
Around when you want it. And you really want it when you have an instant game from the Michigan Lottery. With so many to choose from and millions in cash prizes, a little play can make your day. Play large, win large. The new instant games with top prizes up to $2 million and over $179 million in total prizes.
After 51 years as the greater Detroit area's premier home furnishings destination, Hampton House Furniture is closing their doors and retiring from business. Now everything must be sold, down to the bare walls. It's Hampton House Furniture's great $3 million store closing retirement sale. Shop store closing sale prices on furniture, accessories, and hand-knotted rugs. Before the doors close, everything goes. Hurry, it's first come, first save during the great $3 million store closing retirement sale at Hampton House Furniture in Washington.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Your Buick parks itself. That's so you.
Of course you know where we're going. That's so you.
I got a 6th sense.
And a head-up display.
They're here.
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you.
Get 2.49% APR and no monthly payments for 90 days. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get $750 purchase allowance on Buick Encore GX models.
Detroit for the first time today, and while he's excited to be back to where he called home for 13 years, guess what he thinks of the new dimensions at Comerica? Doesn't like them. Perhaps here's why.
Debut, and he does so even New York. Green launches one. Deep right field, yes, sir. Baez pounds one. Deep right field.
Verlander gets a standing ovation as he returns to make his debut at the Mets. And how about that? Gives up back-to-back homers in the first. That's why he doesn't like those dimensions. Riley Green goes yard, as does Javier Baez. Tigers win 2-0. They sweep the Mets. All right, how about this? Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson. They're among the 90,000 trading cards the daughter of a longtime collector donated to a local senior center. And now the collectibles will be auctioned off to help improve the facility in South Lyon. Our Ray Strickland shares the incredible story from the Center for Active Adults at South Lyon High School.
bunch of basketball cards. It's amazing what's in here.
Nearly 90,000 trading cards fill this room inside of the Center for Active Adults.
There's 3s and 4s of some of these.
Cards featuring the likes of Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Mickey Mantle, and more. All of them were donated by a former employee of the center whose father passed away after spending decades collecting cards of the most iconic sports figures in history. He left them to his daughter, Corrine Esquire, who decided to gift them to the center.
He was always going to like card meetings and things like that to get more cards. He'd go downtown, they had the players sign it.
The cards will be sold at an auction at the Senior Center in South Lyon starting May 16th. The proceeds will help the center, which has struggled to get funding in the past. Esquire says she is happy to be able to help the center, which provides support for thousands of seniors in the community.
I just want to help them. It's a good group and they do a good thing working with the community and seniors.
Carrie Kavanaugh, who is the director of the Center for Active Adults, says she is grateful for the donation.
And the fact that we can take this collection and help to get it out there for someone else to enjoy, but then the benefits to our 4,800 members is tremendous.
And the auction for the collection is going to take place on May 16th through the 19th. It's going to be here at the center in South Lyon. For more information, you can go to our website at cbsnewsdetroit.com. Reporting in South Lyon, Ray Strickland, CBS News Detroit.
Wow, did you see some of those cards? Tom Brady, LeBron James, Joe Montana, Allen Iverson, card from Georgetown.
So many. I didn't have a lot of baseball cards, but I did have, in his first year, I had a Peyton Manning card. I had one of those. I do not have that anymore.
You have to get them graded now.
I know.
Maybe you'll be able to retire.
But I'm still
at
here.
18, were you 18, 19? All right.
You know.
Well, hopefully they raise a lot of money. And we have a money forecast. It's beautiful.
It's full of 70s. Finally, we got a winner. Somebody hit that ticket just right. Here's what we got going on outside for the rest of our night, though. Cloud cover still a little on the broken side. That leaves us with some clearing. But the more clouds that we can have, the actually better it'll be during the night hours anyway. That gives us a chance to trap some warmth. And you can see where the cooler pockets are from Monroe to Ann Arbor to Howell. The green is where we've still got a layer of cloud cover helping to trap some heat from Pontiac right to downtown. Now here's the thing with the next 7. When we get that cooler air finally switching into the warmth, right? There are a couple of back and forth springtime showers that can go along with it. So mainly north toward the I-69 corridor tonight, for example. We'll show you in a moment. And then going even further to the west over toward the US 127 corridor. Those are spots where you might end up seeing a shower or two overnight tonight. Otherwise, though, we're dry. We got the 70s into the weekend. Showers do come back Sunday evening. We've got some showers Monday and a few more on Tuesday with a thunderstorm or two to start the week. But overall, dry enough conditions during the day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're good to go if you have to get any yard work done. It's, you know, if you've been procrastinating for a little while because it's been cool outside, now we have to get it all done. Monday, though, it is wet, but if you can dodge around the shower chances, we might be okay. Tomorrow, though, gorgeous day, along with the chance that even though we've got some clouds, it looks and will feel great. The 60s there holding on all the way through into that evening hour. The mid-60s look fantastic with partly cloudy skies. Now here's the other part. When we get into that nighttime hour and you can see the shower chances up to the northwest, this model shows too much trying to come down further to the southeast. There's far too much moisture there. We've got a lot of dry air that eats that up, and it's doing it already. So I know that that is something that we're not going to end up getting because it's already holding it back off to the northwest to Flint and up toward Lansing. So it is something that'll give us a chance to have a break. Now we get past that, and it's all just cloud cover. The big thing here is that as we get a little further into it, and that cloud cover has that chance to kind of shake itself away a little, we do have warmth that takes over on the other side, and that is going to hold all the way through. That is a ton of heat here all the way into the end of next week and even into next weekend, which means while we have average highs for today and tomorrow, the average high is 66. This keeps us then aiming at that low 70s mark for next week. It looks good, but by next weekend then we have that chance to potentially break it apart a bit more. And that's not too bad of a setup for us then, because if we can stay above average going all the way into it, the other part of this is that we'll hold off with not just those upper 70s until the end of next week, but potentially near 80 by next weekend. I know. I mean, there's a solid run of heat there for us over the next week and a half.
It's going to be time to open those pools soon.
Much better.
hit those lakes. All right, thank you, Ahmed. We are less than 1 month away from the Detroit Grand Prix, and for the first time in 32 years, the race returns to downtown. The grandstands are already up, including a few bridges. And for the race that begins June 2nd, there will be a two-sided pit lane. It'll be a part of the track this year, something that has never been done in motorsports. Also for the first time, murals made up by the Boys and Girls Club of Southeast Michigan will be on display in front of the stands along Jefferson Avenue.
To the millions and millions of people around the world that are going to see this view of our riverfront, this view of our city, this view of the Motor City coming back to the world, and that makes me very proud.
Half of the track will be open to the public for free. We'll have top stories from around the country after the break.
I don't know if there's been a better time to start a brand new news operation. It's fresh, it's innovative.
We're in your community, we're telling stories that matter to you, that affect you.
And shedding light on stories that they may not have heard of.
Letting people know what's happening in their community.
We're gonna have every angle covered.
We've got so many stories to tell because that's what Detroit, Michigan has.
There is that responsibility to the viewer every single day.
I think that's what really sets CBS News Detroit apart.
We became Michigan's first family of law because we've been here for over a century. We know Detroit, and Detroit knows us. That's the Bernstein Advantage. 1-800-CALL-SAM.
Of course, the GMC Terrain offers different drive modes. What about Weekend Warrior mode? Or you don't see that every day mode? How about out of the office mode? Or even,
are you out of your mind?
Mode. Want a mode for everything? GMC Terrain. GM employee program participants with a current eligible GMC lease can get this low mileage lease on this Terrain SLE for $239 per month.
Sale at ABC Warehouse. You can get up to 65% off store-wide. Free next-day delivery, low prices guaranteed, free gifts, and up to 60-month special financing. Get a Serta Elkins 2 Queen mattress now in stock in just $777 with a free adjustable base and special financing. And get your choice of an Ashley Boxberg reclining sofa or reclining love seat, just $777 each, in stock with special financing available. Hurry before the sale is over. Only at ABC Warehouse, the closest thing to wholesale.
This is how legends are made.
2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Or GM employees with a current eligible lease can get this Silverado for $309 a month. Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
Most law firms have had cases. Our experience pays. So get the Bernstein Advantage. 1-800-CALL-SAM.
New tonight at 11, Serbia's government says a gunman killed at least 8 people and wounded 13 others in a village Thursday night. A manhunt is underway for a 21-year-old male suspect. Police cornered off the area where they believe the suspect is hiding. A public broadcaster reports the attacker shot a group of people with an automatic weapon and fled the scene. This comes a day after a 13-year-old boy opened fire on classmates at a school in the capital of Belgrade. The shooting left at least 8 children dead, along with a security guard. Until this week, mass shootings were rare in Serbia, despite the nation's high rate of gun ownership.
We have a national epidemic on gun violence in America. Other nations have challenges with mental health, but they don't seem to have nearly the level of gun violence that we do in America.
The mayor of Atlanta spoke out again today after a gunman opened fire at a medical facility, killing 1 and injuring 4 others yesterday. 24-year-old Dion Patterson has been charged with 1 count of murder and 4 counts of aggravated assault. A law enforcement source told CBS News the Coast Guard veteran was waiting in the waiting room in the medical facility when he became agitated and took out a handgun and began shooting. Patterson's mother says her son suffers from mental illness. It's being called a major victory for the Justice Department. A federal jury convicted 4 members of the Proud Boys extremist group today. Skylar Henry has more.
A federal jury found the former leader of the Proud Boys and 3 high-ranking members guilty of seditious conspiracy for their role in the January 6th attack.
That the Justice Department will do everything in its power to defend the American people and American democracy.
Prosecutors said the far-right extremist group, led at the time by Enrique Tarrio, plotted to stop the peaceful transfer of power to keep then-President Trump in office.
And if you don't fight like hell?
Defense lawyers argued in court that Trump was responsible for the violence that day. They're now planning an appeal.
He was the one who called the rally and had everyone show up.
Prosecutors told the jury that the Proud Boys considered themselves Trump's army and were among the first to break through police barriers.
January 6th will be a day in infamy.
Tarrio, who was not in Washington that day due to a prior arrest, later messaged the group, "Make no mistake, we did this." The seditious conspiracy charge carries a prison sentence of up to 20 years. CBS News legal analyst Jessica Levinson says the verdict could deter future political violence.
We don't want to be talking about the next January 6th after the inauguration in 2025.
A 5th defendant, Dominic Pizzola, used the police riot shield to smash a Capitol window and lead rioters inside. He was found not guilty of seditious conspiracy, but was convicted of obstructing a congressional proceeding. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Washington.
The Secretary of Department of Homeland Security began a 2-day trip to the southern border. 1,500 troops are also being sent there to help with processing and data collection and to take the burden off customs and enforcement. Officials are preparing for the end of Title 42, the public health order, which allowed the government to expel migrants during the pandemic. Coming up on CBS News Detroit at 11, artificial intelligence is back in the spotlight, how it's expanding to a popular platform, and the response from the White House. Next.
This is it, folks. Final question.
All right, guys, one more point to win.
Let's go. Who do you call if you've been injured in an accident?
1-800-CALL-SAM.
They got it. Yeah, that's a winner.
Call Sam. Good answer.
At Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, we make sure your favorite spot is designed to be super comfortable. Whether you're a cuddler, an upside-downer, a leg dangler, or all of the above. Announcing the Lazy Boy 37-hour sale. Friday through Monday only, you can save up to 37% store-wide. Plus, you'll get 0% interest financing for 37 months.
What do you think?
Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
Friday. It's the start of huge summer savings with an extra 20% off. Plus, we pay your tax and get 0% financing for 60 months. That's savings up to 75% for every room in your home. Plus, free TVs, Apple Watches, and Nintendo Switch. Thousands of hot deals in stock with free same-day delivery. Save now with the #1 Memorial Day sale. Gardner White, Friday, 10 to 9.
Change. It's never around when you want it. And you really want it with the new large instant games with top prizes up to $2 million and over $179 million in total prizes. Instant games. A little play can make your day.
When we say crispy, juicy, tender, this is the juicy and tender. And this is the crispy. Hello, McCrispy.
Say hello to your new favorite McDonald's meal. Try the McCrispy chicken sandwich you love, paired with a refreshing premium lemonade, plus medium fries.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. At Trinity Health, we combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized healthcare that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
I'm attorney Mark Bernstein. We've had more $million-dollar wins than most law firms have had cases. Our experience pays. So get the Bernstein advantage. 1-800-CALL-SAM.
You're watching CBS News Detroit.
Welcome back. Slack, the popular workplace messaging platform, is implementing artificial intelligence. The company unveiled Slack GPT on their platform today. The feature will allow users to summarize texts and audio messages and draft messages. It will also work with other Slack features like Canvas, a planning and collaboration whiteboard on their platform. With AI becoming more common, the White House is trying to tackle the potential negatives of the technology with help from the big tech giants. Both President Biden and Vice President Harris met with 4 CEOs today on how to harness the benefits and avoid the consequences of artificial intelligence. The White House released its plan to promote responsible AI, including a $140 million investment in new research.
Metro Detroit couple recently tied the knot at a special location.
Find out where and why that location is so important to them.
Alicia Bergio will share their moving love story tomorrow morning on CBS News Detroit, starting at 5 a.m.
I trained with all the greats, the Pennsylvania Pummeler, the Scranton Scrapper, Kaiser Wilhelm. Come on!
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, weeknights on CBS.
When it's time, treat yourself to our hazelnut mocha lineup made with Nutella. Or try the new cream cold brew made with Oreo cookie pieces. Now at Tim Hortons. It's time for Tim's.
The Butcher. And we can't teach you how to be funny. We have no clue about romance.
What the?
Rocket science is definitely not our thing. But when it comes to playing, no one knows games better than we do. The SI Casino, brought to you by Sports Illustrated. The SI Live Casino, swimsuit slots, arcade slots, and even a free daily spin to win game. We know what it means to play, no matter the game.
Kyle, you just won the home run title. Is that the best of your career?
I wouldn't say that.
Longest home run?
I'd say my title is spokesperson for Cure Auto Insurance. Trust me, they hit it out of the park with savings up to 30%.
Sounds too good to be true.
Take it from me, Cure is a grand slam.
Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering.
Get internet on the Xfinity 10G network for just $35 a month for 2 years with Wi-Fi equipment included.
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf.
The next generation 10G network only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
Of course, the GMC Terrain offers different drive modes. What about Weekend Warrior mode? Or you don't see that every day mode? How about out of the office mode? Or even,
are you out of your mind?
Mode. Want a mode for everything? GMC Terrain. GM employee program participants with a current eligible GMC lease can get this low mileage lease on this Terrain SLE for $239 per month.
When it's time, treat yourself to our hazelnut mocha lineup made with Nutella. Or try the new cream cold brew made with Oreo cookie pieces. Now at Tim Hortons. It's time for Tim's.
Welcome back. If you ever wanted to name a sea animal, there is no odder way than this. Meet Detroit Zoo's newest attraction, this adorable otter. The zoo needs your help picking out a name. Now, there's a poll on their website. The choices: Finn, Eli, Kai, Hurley, or Misu. It's $5 a vote for the next few weeks as they raise money for the zoo. Now, I like the name Finn. My daughter, she loves otters, and she has a toy otter, a little stuffed animal. She named it Rocky Pebbles Otterton, which I like that name.
That needs to be a name on the list.
It won't fit on that graphic. Or on their website. It's too long.
It's perfect.
Write-in vote, Rocky Pebbles Otterton.
There you go. So now, see, there you go. Just write in that vote, and when that name wins.
I
your
love
dog gets
watching
credit.
them go down the slide into the water.
It's a great exhibit there,
Well,
too. And we're warming up finally.
And it's almost swimming weather.
There you go. So here's what we got going on for you, especially into tomorrow, where we're finally getting that heat back. I know it's not the 70s. I'm still giving it an A, though, because we're making it back to the mid-60s. Mostly sunny skies in the afternoon and into the early evening. Cinco de Mayo looks great, should feel great. We've got an easy breeze, so it's not a windy day. And we're actually going to be out there live as well at the end of the school day, going from about 4 o'clock all the way through the 7 o'clock here on CBS Detroit. We'll be out live in Southwest Detroit with some of the Cinco de Mayo festivities tomorrow.
Sure, you go outside on the nice days. I don't see you outside when there's a blizzard. Okay.
I had to make sure that it was really nice when I went out.
All right. I'll let you slide with that A forecast. All right, thank you, Ahmed, and thank you for watching tonight and joining us for CBS News Detroit at 11. We're back here at 5 in the morning. For Ahmed Badji and the entire CBS News Detroit team, I'm Jeff Skversky. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.